Hello friends, my name is Amy. Thank you for stopping by. This is a Look for Less collaboration with Yami at the Latina next door. Check out her channel, she's very talented. Yami's creations are very close to the Dupe and I feel are better than the Dupe. Her co-host is Hayley at the Farmer in the Southern Belle. Check her channel for fun, quality crafting, and beautiful results. This is my inspiration piece, a coffee tray from Wayfair. My dupe was made from a 1x4x8 piece of quality pine board from Menards. I cut the pieces down with my husband's help. We used a chop saw and a table saw, and I will list the measurements in the description box. I used these acrylic paints. I watered them down, painted it on, and rubbed it off to make a stain look. The middle board on the Wayfair tray was brown, so I painted it that same way, but with the brown color paint. And here I am painting the other boards with the gray. I did add a little bit of a brown, hoping to just give it a little bit of a weathered look to it. It didn't seem to make a whole lot of difference when I added that brown. Then just use a rag and wipe it away. And here I'm doing that brown little piece. I had said I did it earlier, but this is me doing that brown middle piece. I'm kind of liking using the acrylic as a stain. It's so much easier to clean up and much cheaper. And it did dry a whole lot different when it was completely dry. I liked it a lot better after it had dried. And I wouldn't have had to paint that side because I put some wood glue, glued the ends, and then I clamped all the boards together. And once you get those put together, make sure you clean up any glue that is squeezed out right away. Otherwise, it's a lot messier, and it doesn't look as nice, of course. And here we're putting the clamps on. I had bought those for my husband for Christmas, and I have gotten a lot of use out of them. Here I am wiping away that glue that squeezed through. So while these are drying, I've got my handles out and I'm measured and drilled holes where it was needed. I'm just eyeballing to make sure things are what they're gonna come through and attach, just what I need. And so I'm drilling the first holes, which will go, the bolt will go through. And then my husband had an idea to use a larger bit and just go down a little bit, and so then the heads of the bolts would be recessed and flush with the board, and I thought that was a very good idea. That way it's not poking in when you put the board together, you don't see that. And I eventually covered those holes with wood filler, and then I had set the entire thing aside to dry once I got the handles put on. And you'll see here, I'm just picking out a little bit of the wood, and I put the handle on and screwed those in. And then since we had put those larger holes, it did go down into the wood, and then I was able to put that wood filler on there and just allowed that to dry overnight. Okay, I used my Cricut to cut out the words "Love Lives Here" with the white vinyl. And I can list the font I used in the description box. I'll need to look that up. And when I made that, it was only about 7 inches in length. So just so you know, when you put those 3 letters together, the entire piece has to be approximately 7 inches in length. And then here I am just placing it on the board with the transfer tape, using the plastic to secure it down, and it peeled up very nicely. Okay, I did make a little bit more paint, and I am just touching up where I had put the wood filler. And then I'm going to take and glue and clamp the pieces on the three boards that I had clamped before. So just putting a thin line of glue, lining up both ends, and I did glue both sides and clamping it again. And I just did it step by step so nothing would get, out of whack or out of kilter. Just glue, take your time, make it dry, let it dry. It was all dry. This is the next day, and I'm just taking the drill and I'm making a pilot hole, and then I'm going to place in a finishing nail, and just one more security of that, it's going to stay in place. And I only used 2. And there's the finishing nail, just hammering that in. The other bottom, you can't see the other side, but I'm using some cloth to protect that. So it looks a little wobbly, but I didn't want to scratch that all up. And then once you get that nailed in, I used a punch on top of that, and then that gets the nail head, pushes it down just a little bit more so it's flush with the board. And then do the other side. The punch part is not necessary. It's your choice if you choose to do that. I just like it down just a little bit more so it's flush. And then of course I did the other side, the longer ends. So you glue them, clamp them, allow it to dry, and then do the pilot hole and nail it in with the finishing board. Or finishing nail, I apologize. Okay, and then I did not know what I wanted to put on top, so I just kind of went with Mod Podge, and I put that on the entire piece. I wanted to make sure that vinyl stayed in place. And I just did one coat, allowed that to dry. Here is the inspiration piece from Wayfair. And here is my final result. I love how it turned out. I think it looks very, very similar to the Wayfair one. And my handles are prettier. So nice. I love that little tray. So the Wayfair price is $63.99. My cost was $10.15. This is a total savings of $53.84. Thank you for watching. Please like my video and subscribe for lots more quality crafts and projects to come. Bye-bye.